Right.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Chris. Chris, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Thanks, Jen. I'm on mute. Leave it to Jen. She's always the best, my best buddy. She's like, you're on mute or you're not recording. So thank you. Y'all got love tech, right? Anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here. Jen, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Welcome. Welcome to day one of Build a Real Prosperous Boutique Business. I'm so, so glad for you guys to be here. We're just going to give people a few more minutes to pop in here. If you were here already, go ahead and come on live, mute your self in the background if you could, just so that everybody can hear today. And let me know in the chat, where are you coming in from? We have people from all over the world, and I would love it if we could figure out where everybody is coming from. Here's Miss Nicole, and we've got Alicia and Olga. I'm so glad to see you again. Got to chat with you last week. Margaret, oh my gosh, it's been probably a year since I've seen you. I hope you are doing amazing. I know longer since before we've actually been able to be in person. Amazing. So let me know in the chat. Also, if you are in Facebook land, let me know that you're here in the chat. Just go ahead and put hashtag live in the comments. That would be great. If you are watching Substack, because we are streaming into multiple places today, let me know that you are in Substack and just give me a hello over there as well. I am going to spend my time here inside of the Zoom room with everybody. So I'm not actually going to be able to monitor the comments that are inside of Facebook or Substack. But I promise if you have a question, go ahead and pop them in the comments and I will circle back around and make sure that you guys get them. And if you guys are there, come on into the Zoom room because you know we've got free goodies every time you show up live. So check your email, grab the Zoom link, come join us. It's always so, so much more fun when we get to be in community here. So hi, Nicole. Welcome back. It's been a while too. And we've got Katie and Heather and Pam and Alicia and Anna and David. Welcome. You are going to be our man today. And Wanda and Allison and Elizabeth. So nice to see you. Sarah, I am going to go ahead and put this on Spotlight so everybody has a better opportunity to see the workbook, the playbook. If you did not receive your playbook, check your email first because it should be there with your link. So we make sure every single day we are going to send out the recording from the previous day, but we're also going to make sure that you guys have the playbook to go with it as well. So one playbook, thank goodness, we're not going to send out 5 different ones. You guys have one main playbook. It's got all of the days. Sweden, Teresa, welcome. Look at this, you guys. I knew we had people from all over the place. Olga, where are you coming in from? Is it Germany? Netherlands, right? The Netherlands? Yes.
Netherlands.
Amazing. So, so good. We've got people from Florida. We've got people in the US. We've got people in Canada. So, so much fun. All right, everybody, we're going to dive in today. And if you don't have your playbook, just go ahead and pop playbook in the chat and we will make sure that you get that. My team will circle back around and we will get that, but I will share my screen with you. That way you guys can see the information, okay? But before we dive in today, I just want to let you know, okay, so Elizabeth did not get the playbook. Elizabeth, you did register, however, because you wouldn't have gotten the Zoom link. So will you do me a favor and just check your email because the same email that you had got the Zoom link for should have the playbook in there too. Okay, so it's in the same place. And then if you can't find it, of course, let me know and we will make sure that we will get you guys set up and get everything. So be sure to stay until the end, a few housekeeping rules, because that's when we are going to share your goodies, your freebies inside of the chat. That way we can make sure that everybody gets what it is that they came for. And for those of you that don't know me, I didn't even introduce myself. I am Christine Williams. I am the founder and the creator of the Boutique CEO Business School, as well as my signature program, Activate Abundance Academy, Six Figure Foundations, The Art of Soulful Enrollment. We've got lots and lots of goodies to support you in building and growing a prosperous boutique coaching business or holistic business, whatever it is that you decide. So we work not only with health coaches, but with life coaches, spiritual coaches, nutritional coaches, life coaches, career coaches, like you name it. If you have a business that is service based, you're in the right place. And if you want to build a boutique business that is that sweet spot, even if you're not there yet, don't worry about it. But we're looking at the sweet spot between 100K and 500K. That's typically what we take a look at for a boutique business. That's really important. We want to have high profit and we want to have a lean team, okay? Because we want to take home more of what it is that we are creating in our revenue. So if this is for you and if that's something that you would like to build towards, you guys are in the right place. So again, I'm Christine Williams. I'm so glad you guys are here. I actually started building my business, my boutique business, back in the day before I even knew what a boutique business was, back in, oh my gosh, 2015. 2015 is when I started my nutritional therapy business. And I definitely have got the receipts for a lot of the crazy that happens through the years as you are trying to build and grow your business. I had exactly one client the very first year that I was in business. So my intention is for you to walk away with information and implementation. So I don't want you just learning more information, okay? I want you guys to actually have some clear, practical things that you can start implementing to create an amazing business. And I have created over $3 million in my business since then. So I can tell you that what it is that I'm here to share with you is based on timeless principles. And that's super, super important. I'm not going to teach you tactics that go out of date. I'm not going to tell you to go dance on TikTok. I'm not going to tell you to cold DM 100 people. I'm not going to tell you to try to overcome objections in a discovery session. What I am going to do is I'm going to teach you things that are proven to work stand the test of time. How do I know? Because I use the exact same ones that I'm going to be teaching you guys today. I still use them and my clients still use them as well. Okay, great. In your email, playbook link was right below the Zoom link. Okay, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Margaret, for helping people find that playbook. Yes, amazing. So we're going to dive in. Now, one of the foundational principles and where I always start in all of my programs and all of my workshops, because it's that important, is identity. And so, what I want you guys to get, the value that I want you to get today is to really help you step into the identity of a CEO with a prosperous coaching business. Not a certified coach trying to build a business, but the CEO of a prosperous coaching business. Those are two different things, okay? And it's really, really important that you guys get that because when we are in the energy and the identity of a certified coach trying to get a client, trying to get the next, revenue in, trying to pay the bills, we're actually in an energy of scarcity. And six figures doesn't happen after, or the identity of a CEO coach doesn't happen after you've hit six figures. It actually happens because of it. Okay. So when you are in the identity of a CEO that is building a prosperous coaching business, the money becomes the side effect. Okay. The money becomes the side effect. So there is a difference between, again, I'm hustling, I'm striving, I'm trying to get the thing, nothing's working, I don't know what to do, versus, and some of that might be true, right? I don't know what to do is very, very common, especially when we haven't created consistent income in our business yet. But when you are in the identity of, I am a CEO of a coaching business and I am in that identity and I trust that I can figure it out and that I can implement these things, that's a very, very different energy than being in scarcity and being just a certified coach, right? So inner game always starts first. And so I'm going to share my screen with you guys now so that I can, whoops, hang on. It's up. Let's see if Zoom will cooperate with my computer. Yay, there it is. All right, here's your workbook, okay? And we are going to be talking about the identity piece first. And I love this formula because this truly is probably one of the most important formulas that I want you guys to keep coming back to in staying in the identity of a prosperous CEO building a coaching business. Okay. So here's the interesting thing. When I was building and growing my business, until I actually claimed that I was already a coach with a six-figure business, the six figures can't come, right? And Margaret, you know this, Jen, you know this. Why? Because it comes based on the identity that you choose to be in, and then the steps that you take as that person who is already building an amazing business. Okay. So I'm going to share with you a couple of tips and a couple of like 7 specific mindset shifts that we're going to go walk into today to help you step into that identity even before you see the results. And that's really, really key, right? We have to be in the identity first in order for us to see the results, right? Most of us have it backwards. We think, okay, well, I'll be able to say that I am a six-figure coach or a prosperous coach once all of the money is in the bank, once the six figures are there, once I've had 10K months, once whenever. Nope, it actually happens the other way around. Okay. And one of the things that I did when I was building and growing my business is that I made it a point every single day to choose the identity and the energy that I wanted to be in. And this is really, really important. Why? Because the inner game, which is the energy that you are in and the things and the beliefs and the thoughts that you believe to be true, have to come first. And then we take the action with a simple strategy, and that's what creates an abundant and a prosperous business. Okay, so the formula is inner game first, always. I promise you, you guys are going to walk away with 4 days of strategy. Absolutely 1000%. I will give you the how to's. I will give you the practical. I will give you all of my best stuff because I want this training to be more valuable to you than the last program or coaching course that you paid for. Okay. That is so, so important to me that you guys walk away with not just the what and not just the why, but the actual how so that you can actually see how you do this. Okay. So the abundance formula for a profitable boutique business, say that 10 times fast, is inner game. What energy am I choosing to be in? What energy and mindset and belief am I choosing? And it really is a choice. It really is a choice because if we're not intentionally choosing, we are going based on a default. We are going based on the past, things that we have seen, evidence. Well, I tried to do this last year and it didn't work. Or I tried to do this yesterday and it didn't work. Or I tried to do the thing 5 years ago and it didn't work. We're either leading from there and we're in that energy of doubt and fear, or we're in the future of, but what if it doesn't work? But what if this, XYZ thing, PDQ thing happens? Okay. So choose it because it will be, you'll be in the energy regardless. Okay. You will be in a identity. And so I want you to step into the identity that is actually going to do something for you, which is going to empower you to create a prosperous business. Okay. Then we take action, inspired action, implementing timeless principles, which I will teach you on day 2 and day 3 and day 4. And then if you're here with me for the VIP day, we're going to put it all together and we're going to go create a client, paying client in 7 days or less. So you are welcome to still join me for the VIP experience if you want to do that. Anytime, whether you decide that you want to upgrade today, tomorrow, it's $47 and you're going to walk away absolutely with that $47 back in your bank account. So abundance is more than just wealth, right? A lot of times when we think about abundance, we think about money, right? Wealth, but it is more than just that. It is a combination of freedom, of choice, and also of money. Okay, so money gives us choice, right? Abundance, when we have an abundance of choice and an abundance of freedom, and even an abundance of time, right? That allows us to focus on the things that we most value. And that's the type of business that I teach my clients to build, is one that's in alignment with their values. Okay, one that allows them to spend their time and their energy on the things that are going to feel good to them. Now, it doesn't mean that building a business is going to feel easy all the time, but you're going to be able to choose the strategies and the principles that are going to best support you so that you can spend more time doing the things that you like. Okay, so let's start with, who are you being? Who are you being? This is really, really important. So just notice, and there's no judgment here. I want you to just get curious. We're going to take judgment out of it. But on a scale from 1 to 10, who are you being? Are you in the energy of, I consistently create paying clients? I understand how my business creates revenue. I feel confident leading my business. I know exactly what to focus on each week. My business supports the life I want. So, again, no judgment. There's no room for guilt or shame. We just want to say, okay, where am I? In the identity. Because the truth is that if you are in the identity of a empowered CEO growing a profitable coaching business, you will click check marks and you will be a 10 for all of these. Okay. But being in that identity is what creates this. Okay. So just notice on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. Now we want to think, what energy are you in with your thinking? Okay, so notice the difference between scarcity thinking and CEO thinking. And this is where I want to, talk about some very specific shifts so that you can have an example of what this might look like for you. Okay, so here is a scarcity mindset piece, is that your job is to coach people. Your job is to coach people. What I want you to step into is your job is to build a business that creates transformation for people. Your job is to build a business that creates transformation for people, right? One is that you want to focus on serving the client just in front of you, right? I'm just going to coach somebody today. But a CEO is actually looking for, how can I create more transformation in the world? How can I create a body of work that serves others and helping them live happier, healthier lives? Okay, those are very two different jobs, right? Yeah, one is, who do I need to coach today? The other one is, okay, how can I put my body of work out there in the world that will allow me to consistently create clients because of the value that I'm putting out in the world? Okay. The second place is, I'll help whoever comes. Whoever will say yes to me, I will let them, pay me, right? Instead, what I want you to be in the energy of, in the mindset of, is I intentionally create clients. One is scarcity. I don't have what it is that I need. I hope somebody reaches out to me, right? I'll take anybody who's going to pay me. Versus, you know what? I believe that I can intentionally create clients. And that comes from being intentional in your leadership, right? It comes from being intentional of creating visibility, of building trust with people, of starting conversations, of making invitations, right? I'll help whoever comes means that, you know what? Clients will appear if I'm just good enough, right? And the truth is, you guys are good enough already. You guys are good enough already. The job that you do, the transformation that you create, the service and the hospitality that you share with people is good enough already. Now you get to step into the energy of, you know what? I can intentionally create clients. Okay. The third one that we want to shift from is, revenue is a result. Revenue as a result is actually scarcity. Revenue as a responsibility is something completely different. Okay. And what that means is, when I say revenue is a responsibility, I truly believe it's my responsibility to invite somebody to take the natural next step with me if I truly believe that I can help them to create a transformation. Okay. So when we just feel like, well, revenue is just a result of coaching, that's very, very different, right? The revenue as a responsibility means that I get to consistently show up and help people get the result that they want. And then revenue actually becomes a side effect of that. Revenue becomes a side effect of that. Okay. So a CEO, an empowered CEO, actually understands that revenue, making sales in your business, is actually not about greed. It's about allowing you to receive so that you can give generously, so that you can create stability in your life, in your family, so that you can fund impact with others, and it allows you to create freedom. Okay, so instead of it just letting it be a result, we get to actually take ownership, right? One is something is happening to us, the other one is I'm in control and I'm taking action to move towards my goal. Two different ways of being. Okay, number 4 is I need another certification, right? A lot of times I just need another certification, then I'll finally feel ready, right? I just need this X, Y. And look, I am not knocking certifications. I have 12, no lie. Like, I get it. I have 12 certifications, from massage therapist, yoga teacher, meditation teacher, holy yoga teacher, kids yoga teacher, business coach, intuitive coach, health coach, master, like literally I have them. I have them. So I know what it feels like to be in this identity of, let me just get one more certification. Then I'll be able to charge. Then I'll be able to get clients, right? And instead, what I want you to move into is, what if it wasn't about a new certification? What if it was about honing and having better business skills? Which is really the truth, right? Another certification is not going to help you create clients, right? But having better business skills is actually what's going to help you to create revenue, right? Most of us don't need another modality, and that's really what a certification is, right? What I needed was to learn how to communicate value, to create offers, to build trust, to invite people to take the next step with me, to lead conversations authentically and naturally, and to actually be a steward of my business. Okay. So again, business doesn't grow because you're the most certified. It grows because you become an exceptional business owner. And again, that comes from being in the identity of a CEO that's building a coaching business instead of a certified coach just trying to get clients. Okay. Number 5, how many of you have said to yourself, I hope people buy today? Gosh, I hope I get a client. Like, I hope I get a client this month, right? And again, no harm, no foul. There's no judgment here. But if you hear yourself saying that, instead, I want you to say, I create opportunities for people to say yes. Instead of, I hope people buy. I hope somebody responds to my post. I hope somebody DMs me. I hope somebody responds to my email. Mm-mm. I create opportunities for people to say yes. Hope is not a strategy, my friends. It's not a strategy. We can't just cross our fingers and wave a magic wand and manifest our way to success. Okay. But also, a CEO doesn't pressure people either, right? So when you create opportunities for people to say yes, that's not manipulating. That's not being icky or salesy. That's not trying to drag somebody across the finish line at all. Okay. That is putting value out in the world, connecting with people, building real relationships with people. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do those specific things tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. And also knowing that when you're making an invitation, it's actually an act of service and hospitality. And it really is, because why? Because we're in the energy of transformation. We are in the energy of, it's my responsibility to help somebody create movement, to help somebody get off of Pain Island, right? So this is an understanding here that somebody cannot say yes to their own transformation if they were never invited into it. And how often do we hold ourselves back? And we are just like, no, I'll just wait until they reach out. I'm sure someone saw that post. I'm sure someone got the email. But then we don't actually follow up. We don't actually reach out. We don't actually say, how are you? We don't actually invite somebody into the transformation that they want. Okay. Number 6, success happens someday. Success happens someday. Like, somehow there's this magic finish line that we're going to cross and we can finally say we're successful. Let me tell you, that's never going to happen. Why? Because the success finish line changes. You might say success for me looks like 5K a month. Well, once you get to 5K, you're going to say, well, maybe I want a little bit more. Maybe it's 10K a month, or maybe it's something else, right? It's kind of like the same type of finish line that many of your coaching clients might experience. I just want to fit back into my skinny jeans again. I just want to have this whatever result it is, right? And then the finish line changes. Okay. A more empowering energy and identity to be in is I create success daily. I create success daily. I don't wait for success to happen. I create it on a daily basis. And that doesn't mean that you have to do everything perfectly. And it doesn't mean you have to do all of the things, but you do have to be in the energy and the intention of how can I create success today? I am in the energy of I create success daily. Who could I serve today? That's actually exactly what I have been telling myself since 2015 when I wake up is who can I serve today? Who can I serve today? Who could I connect with today? What conversation needs to happen? What invitation needs to be made? Maybe what asset am I building to put more value out in the world? Because paying clients is actually the echo of value. So again, this is not about being perfect. This is about being in the energy and the identity of I create success daily. And then being that CEO and asking those questions. Who can I serve today? Who can I connect with? What conversations need to happen? What invitation needs to be made? Okay. And then number 7 is, and this is a hard one, and I had to wrap my head around this too, is instead of I own a coaching business, I'm actually building an asset. I'm actually building a body of work that is an asset and a benefit to other people too. So, most of us, when we're trying to build a coaching business, we think that we're here just to create income. But a CEO of a prosperous business actually thinks a little bit different. She starts thinking about building intellectual property. She thinks about building trust. She thinks about building relationships. She thinks about keeping it simple and having systems. She thinks about building assets that are going to continue to create opportunities long after her work is done. Okay. So I would love to know out of these 7 that you heard, which one of those kind of popped out for you? Is there one that popped out for you that was like, ooh, gosh, I kind of felt that in my body? Kind of felt that in my body. Go ahead and pop it in the chat. Pop it in the chat for me. I would love to know which one of those. Yeah. Ooh, yes, Mary, revenue is a responsibility. Yeah, we typically don't think about that, right? But honestly, if we've got something that can help somebody, I really believe that that's our more responsibility. I've got something that can help somebody. Yeah, Vicky, I can create clients. Amen, sister. Absolutely. Yeah. And I create opportunities for people to say yes, yes. Abundance is in opportunities that have not yet been actioned. So when we ask ourselves, how could I create an opportunity for somebody today? Yes. Beautiful. Amazing. I can create clients and I create success daily. Yes. Thank you, Tara. Yeah. I want you to, yes, as CEOs, we're not pushing or pulling, but we're inviting into something valuable. Excellent, Swan. Yes. Notice how these make you feel in your body. Yeah, 2 things. Netting out to, what is this? Netting out to treating this like a proper business. Yep. First job as a CEO and 100% transparency. I'm all around 1. Oh, 1 felt in your chest. Excellent. Good. Relieved. Yeah. Yes. Another one. I create opportunities for people to say yes. Doesn't that feel good? Instead of how do I close the deal? How do I get the client today? How do I get somebody to say yes? Right? Very, very different energies, right? And the beauty is that when you are in an abundant energy, yes, you're going to feel empowered. Like Vicky said, Yeah, you're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel relieved. You're going to feel more confident. And that means that you're then going to also take action from that identity. So I want to move into the second part, which is just doing an audit, because every single day I talk to at least one person that tells me they feel like they've got an expensive hobby. They've invested money in their business in multiple ways over multiple times, and they're like, when is this going to start making money? I had a conversation with somebody last week, and she says, my husband is asking me now, when am I going to actually start creating income in this business? Right? So this is where we are going to do a little bit of an audit so that we can determine, are we actually spending our time on the right things? And I'm going to teach you the core four revenue generators over the next several days. But for right now, I just want you to notice, what are you spending the majority of your time on? Is it learning? Is it creating content? Is it being in perfection mode, like afraid to put it out there because you're not sure it's good enough? We need to kind of tweak that color yellow on our website again, or, popped our something through ChatGPT one more time and get 25 different options. Are you spending most of your time just posting on social media? The first four, Olga's like, yes, right. Or are you focused on client delivery or revenue generating activities? If you're not sure if you're focused on revenue generating activities or not, it's just awareness, it's just information, but I guarantee you're going to walk away from this training, this 4-day training, knowing exactly what those are. Yeah, Swan, learning and trying to stay motivated and inspired. Yeah, yeah, because it's hard to stay motivated and inspired when our business feels like an expensive hobby, right? When we are showing up, when we are doing the things that we know to do, and it's still not creating income for us, we're like, well, what the heck is wrong with me? Right? There's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't been taught some of the missing pieces. Okay. Teresa says the first three: learning, creating content, perfecting. And look, there's nothing wrong with any of these either. I am not going to tell you to stop learning. I'm not going to tell you to stop creating content. I'm not going to tell you to stop being on social media. I'm probably going to encourage you not to spend so much time perfecting because perfection actually breeds procrastination. Okay. But just notice there. Okay. I want you spending more time in the revenue generating activities and client delivery. Okay. That's the place that you are going to be creating 80% of your revenue. 80% of your revenue is going to come from four main revenue generating activities. We're going to talk about the first two tomorrow. Actually, on Wednesday, we're going to talk about the first two on Wednesday. Okay, which is attraction, being visible. Most of you guys are doing that, by the way. If you are posting or you're sharing or you're showing up in some way, shape, or form, that's visibility. That's client attraction. That's getting eyeballs. Okay. What most of you are missing is actually the next three. There's 75% of your business that's missing because there is no nurturing once somebody comes into your ecosystem. There's no connecting with them, and there's no invitation happening on a daily basis. Okay, so we're going to dive into those over in this workshop so that you can spend your time more wisely. All right. Now, let's take a look around our business as the empowered CEO building a profitable business, not just a certified coach. I want you to see if you can answer these questions. How are people discovering you? This is helping us to uncover where we have opportunities to grow. Okay. If people can't find you, they can't work with you. So this is pretty important. How are people discovering you right now? Not where are you chasing people, but how are they actually able to find you and see you and understand what it is that you do and the transformation that you help people provide. Number two, how are you intentionally building trust? The truth is, strangers cannot be buyers. If somebody doesn't feel safe, if somebody doesn't trust you, if somebody doesn't like you, they cannot be a buyer. So we need to understand, how am I intentionally building trust with people? The third thing, how do conversations begin? Am I even starting conversations with people? Olga, I know you're starting conversations with people. We just need, but poor thing, she's like doing like 100 cold DMs with people. And heck, that's not fun because strangers can't be buyers, right? We need to nurture first, right? So, how are conversations beginning for you? Are they happening in an email that somebody might reply back to? Are they happening in a text message? Are they happening in a personal invitation? Are they happening in an audit? Like many of you have booked audits with me, right? That's how conversations start. Okay. How do people actually become your client? This is now we're talking about sales. We're getting into our sales system or our sales process. How do people actually become clients? And I'll tell you, an outdated method that many of you might still be using that hopefully feels like a relief that you don't have to do anymore is trying to get a client in a 1 hour discovery session. If you are just randomly booking 1 hour discovery sessions and having that as a free coaching call, and on that call, you're trying to build rapport and create trust and get them to buy your thing and overcome all the objections in that 1 hour, that's not working. Yeah, that's not working. Yeah. Why? Because remember, a stranger doesn't buy. And the truth is that people need to have an experience of trust with you over a period of time. It typically takes about 11 hours, by the way, of somebody consuming your content and connecting with you before somebody can become a paying client. Okay. So we're going to build this out for you this week. All right. How does that feel? Are you a heck yes? Like give me a amen in the chat or a heart or something if that feels really, really good for you to be able to walk away knowing exactly these things. How are people going to discover you? How are you going to intentionally build trust? How do you start conversations or how they begin? And then how do your people become your clients? Good. Yes. Amen. Right? Yes. I'm so glad, Tara. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I really want to like take these things and make them simple and practical so that you guys can really not only understand, but then actually be able to do something with the information. Okay. All right. Now we get to declare. We get to declare who are we? Are we just a certified coach? No. We are powerful CEOs building a coaching business and creating transformation in the world. That's what we're doing. We are changing lives, people. We are changing lives. We are helping people live happier, healthier lives. And that creates a ripple out in the world. So, here I want you to dive into more deeply. It's kind of like the why underneath. What are you doing? Why are we even building these coaching practices? Who are you? Why are you doing what you do? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why do you even want a coaching practice? And yes, it's okay that revenue is part of it, but really there's a deeper why under there, right? So, who does your work serve? Who does your work serve? When you work with your clients, who are they? Are they moms? Are they CEOs? Are they executives? Are they stay at home mamas? Are they women in menopause? Are they women struggling with self doubt? Are you a career coach trying to help women figure out their next step? Right? Who does your work serve? Because when we get clear on this and we know who it is that we're serving, then we can talk more clearly. And many of you guys know I talk about the difference between broccoli and chocolate, right? Broccoli is what we tend to as health coaches. And again, I'm using that example because I was a functional nutritional therapist and a health coach. You need to eat the broccoli. You need to have this much protein. You need to have fats, protein, and fiber, right? You need to have a balanced plate, right? But that's not what my people were asking for, right? So I was talking broccoli. You need to eat the broccoli. And they were saying, I just want to feel good in my skin again. I just want to wake up well rested, right? So when we are clear here on why it is that we're doing the work and who our work serves, then we can also dive into, well, how does your work actually serve them? And more importantly, what happens if they don't find you? What happens if they don't find your work? If they don't have the solution that you provide, how does that impact them and their lives and the people around them? Because it all creates a ripple. And then what happens to them if they do find your work? What happens when they get that transformation? How does that impact their life, their relationships, their business, their time, whatever it is? Right? And then how does finding your work affect, again, their family, community, and even the whole world? You guys, this is beautiful. And one of the reasons why I really love teaching this part is because when we understand that when we are creating a body of work, we are creating ripples in the world for transformation and good. And I want more of you to have the money in your hands to use that to create more choice and to create more freedom. Could you imagine if health coaches, life coaches, holistic practitioners held the money, how we would spend it, how we would use it, how we would impact the world? Yeah, pretty darn powerful, right? So I want you to ask yourself this next question. How much money are you deciding to earn from your work? Have you even decided that? I know when I first started, I was like, I would just love to earn whatever it is that I can to pay my bills, right? And I know I keep freezing, so sorry about that. Hopefully my camera will decide that it wants to cooperate today. But are you actually deciding what you want to earn? If not, let's do that now. Like, how much would you decide that you are going to earn from your work? Is it $5,000 a month? Is it $10,000 a month? Great. So Swam's like, nope, I'm declaring 10,000 a month by the end of 2027. Amazing. You get to decide. And the truth is if you don't decide, then you'll get whatever comes to you. But if you decide that, you know what, I declare and I'm deciding that this is what I am going to earn from my work, then we get to move into the next energetic piece, which makes it even more possible, is money likes to be told where to go. So what are you going to do with that money? How are you going to impact the world with that money? Lori says 50K a month, currently at 30. Amazing. Great. So what are you going to do with that? Are you going to go on vacation? Are you going to pay off debt? Are you going to buy a new car? Or like, what are you going to do with that money? Yeah. So if you've decided 2 years ago and it's not yet happening, that means that you are not in the identity of actually having that, because that identity is actually creates the results. Whatever results that you're creating right now is evidence of the identity that you are in right now. Okay. Pay off all debt, hire a few more people so I don't have to work so hard. Amazing. Yeah. And then imagine you're going to be paying those people, and those people are going to be able to contribute to their families, and they're going to be able to create ripple effects too. Right? So, what are you going to do with that money? Are you clear with that, or is it just a dollar amount that's kind of hanging out there? Right? And then how does this money serve your goals, your purpose, and your vision? Right? So Lori, the way that it's going to help her is it's going to help her pay off debt, and she's going to hire more people to help her not just run her business, but create transformation in the world so she can have more time. Yeah. And I would say, what would it look like to not have to work so hard? What would you be doing with that extra time, Lori? Yeah. And then we have to also remember that earning money is actually a high service. When you allow yourself to receive, that's important, because the money that you bring in, we're not like just hoarding it, right? We're actually letting that move. It's currency. We're letting that move. We're paying our bills. We're going on vacation. We're funding our children's college education. We're hiring more people. When you allow yourself to receive, that is also going to allow you to let that money, which is also energy, into the greater collective. So, what do I mean by that? I like to think about money coming into us as a waterfall, right? And I am beneath the waterfall. I'm actually the river, right? So the waterfall comes into the river. Okay. My job as the river is not to actually dam it up and because I'm afraid that more won't come, right? My job as the river is to trust that the waterfall continues and I get to let it flow into the greater collective, right? So I get to decide where might I be in scarcity. Am I not trusting that the waterfall is on? And so I feel like I've got to hoard it, right? And maybe there's not enough, so I have to hoard it. Or am I allowing it to flow, to come in, and then also to share, right? And the truth is, you guys, most of you are really, really good givers. Most of you are exceptional givers. That's why you got into this work in the first place, is because you care about people, right? Yeah. But you have to allow yourself to receive too. If you don't allow yourself to receive, then that's actually putting a kink in the abundance hose. Okay. So we are going to then take a look here and make that declaration. I'm no longer just building a coaching practice. What are you building? What are you building? You are building transformation. You are building a prosperous coaching business that is changing people's lives. You are a powerful and empowered CEO. And when you are in that identity of being an empowered CEO, you are going to take actions that an empowered CEO takes. You are going to believe things that an empowered CEO believes. You are going to be in the energy of generosity and value and creating transformation for people. You're also going to be in the empowered state of inviting people into their transformation so that they can work with you and so that you can also allow yourself to receive, right? Tell me if this is landing for you in the chat. Give me a capital Y for yes if this is landing for you. Thank you, Swan. Oh, good. You're building in Jamaica and Benin. Ooh, I love it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, great. So this is what we got to clean up. This energy and mindset is what we got to clean up because when we start taking action from an empowered CEO that's growing a prosperous coaching business, not just a certified coach trying to get a client, your strategies, the things that I'm going to teach you are going to work so much better. And you are going to be in the energy of confidence and generosity. And that actually comes to you and trust. Okay. So, what are you going to commit to? This is going to be your action step. Okay. What are you, as the CEO, as an empowered CEO of your business, what are you going to commit to as this new identity? What are you going to commit to as this new identity? And I'm going to ask you to share that inside of our Facebook community. If you're on Substack, you can share it there too. Okay. But this is important. I want you to think of this is that this is your declaration. This is a declaration. I am not just a certified coach. I am an empowered CEO of my business. And I am in the energy and the identity of creating transformation for people. And I allow myself to also receive from that identity. Okay. So, welcome to day one, you guys. This is going to be super, super, super fun. And this is the identity that I want you to come back to. This is mindset work, which means that I want you to write this down someplace and I want you to look at it on a daily basis. Why? Because mindset work is like a muscle. You know, it's like we got to lift, in order to build muscle, right? We got to do it on a daily basis. It's not a light switch. It's something that we have to come back to over and over and over again. And so I want you to ask yourself tomorrow morning when you wake up, Who are you being? What energy are you in? And what identity are you choosing to be in? Because it is a choice. It is absolutely a choice. And remember, an empowered CEO building a profitable coaching business is not going to be afraid to show up. She's not going to be afraid to invite people to work with her. She's going to give generously. She's going to reach out and have conversations. She's going to do different things than the old identity that you might be in right now. And again, if you're unsure what those things are, you're going to walk away. You'll know exactly what those things are. Okay. So tell me in the chat, what is one thing that you are taking away from our call today? What is one thing that you're taking away from day one today? Something that feels really good and juicy. It doesn't have to be giant. It doesn't have to be, a major epiphany, but one thing that you're taking away from today that you feel is going to have a beneficial, a positive impact on you building a boutique CEO business. One thing. Mindset. I've kind of forgotten the whole be a CEO mindset. Yeah. Yeah. Act, walk, talk like an empowered CEO. Amen, sister. Oh, Olga, I'm good enough already. Absolutely. Yes. Totally. Yeah, creating transformation. Yes, changing your mindset to being an empowered CEO, even if you're only a one-person business. Heck yeah, girl. I didn't even start bringing on any, people to help me. And by the way, I have a part-time VA. I've created over $3 million in my business with me and a part-time VA. You do not need a giant audience. If you take a look at my Facebook group, I only have 1,500 people in there, right? Yeah. Changing your mindset to being an empowered CEO. Yep. Turn on Substack paid to market to your group coaching. Amazing, Elizabeth. I love that. That is exactly right what a empowered CEO would do. Right. Your service is transformational for your clients, and the value added to their lives is the reason they work with you. Amen. It's not a gift or a burden. Amen, Mary. I love that so much. Nicole, how wonderful it would be for the world at large if people like us are abundant and prosperous in our business, right? Oh my gosh, absolutely. I want more of you to make money doing the work that you're doing, not just to make money, but yeah, you got to pay for the things that you want to pay for, right? We have to put food on the table. For our families, there are things that we want to support that is going to allow us to create transformation in our lives as well as the lives of the clients that we're working with. It gets to be a both and, right? And so I'm going to leave you with one final thought. What if the world and money was not just one pie? What if it was a bakery? What if it was a bakery instead? What if instead of just one pie where the people who are taking a larger piece means there's less for everybody? What if there is so much more for everybody than we actually believe is possible? What if I'm not taking away from somebody? What if I'm helping them to create more abundance? What if we just get to go back and create more pies? What if we get to bake more cakes and more cookies and build more ovens? Because that's the mission that I'm here for. And I hope that you're joining me with that. I believe in an abundant world. I believe that the more good we put out in the world, the more it creates and the ripple effects it creates. I don't believe in scarcity. Absolutely. Yeah. Scarcity is something that we were taught and that we were culturally entrained with to think that we're not enough, right? But if we're in an abundant mindset, then we are not taking away from anybody. We are allowing ourselves to receive, and we're also changing the world and giving in a big way, which means everybody wins. Everybody wins. How would that change if you truly believed that everybody wins by working with you? You win, they win, their families win, our world wins. How would that change things? So I want to invite you to write that down on a piece of paper somewhere that you get to choose abundance. You absolutely get to change abundance. And we are here to do good work in the world, and it is a both and. Oh, Joyce, I owned a bakery and there was always more in the kitchen and back. Yay! Oh, I love that. That is such a beautiful visual. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Yes, What if there was always more? How would that change things, right? Okay, my friends. So I always start day one with the mindset piece because it's really, really important. So, again, tomorrow morning when you wake up, what energy am I choosing to be in? What identity am I choosing to be in? And then come join me tomorrow, 4 o'clock tomorrow again. Okay. We are going to be diving into your offer suite, right? In order for us to receive money, we have to have transformational offers. We have to have ways that people can work with us. And so we're going to talk about your top ticket, mid ticket, low ticket offer, what makes them transformational, and what makes them easy yeses for your people to say yes to. Okay, so those are three offers that we need to have inside of our offer suite in order to have a prosperous business. So I'm gonna help you with that, and you guys are also gonna walk away with the whole sheet on how to create a high ticket offer. All right, let me grab, where is that? I've got to give you guys your freebies. Here it is. I am sharing with you guys today your Boutique CEO Manifesto. Whoops, need to make this open for everybody. So you guys can print this out. It's just one simple page, and you can look at it to remind yourself of the identity that you are stepping into on a daily basis. Remember, this is daily work. This is daily work. So definitely print it out, have it somewhere that you can look at. This is the identity that I'm stepping into. This is who I'm being. And remember, the money comes after the identity. The clients come after the identity. So this is something that we need to work on and put on repeat. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me here today. You're welcome, Joyce. I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We're going to dive into Offer Suite, okay? All right. Bye, everybody.